Hey guys, welcome to another ServerMiner plugin tutorial. I'm your host LCJim007 and today we're looking at the Deadly Disasters plugin. This is a really fantastic plugin which allows you to have crazy disasters in your Minecraft server such as tornadoes, tsunami, sandstorms, earthquakes, sinkholes, you name it, it can happen and they are ridiculous. There is also a feature where you can have custom mobs which we'll look at, and there's a couple of custom items as well. This is a really well made plugin and I'd highly recommend it for your server. So the first thing we're going to do is look at commands, and actually here is one of the custom mobs over here. This is an end totem. But if we want to do /deadly disasters : disasters, this gives us all of the commands. Now what we can do is set the world difficulty, so you can set it for all worlds or a specific world, and you get a choice of custom, easy, extreme, hard or normal. And that will say, as you can see in chat, random occurring disasters is on, the minimum timer is 120. And then there are different levels to each disaster. So a level 1 is the kind of easiest, and then a level 6 is the most severe and also the most rare. We could do, let's do hard for all worlds. Let's change the timer and let's change the levels as well to make more severe ones more common. Another useful command is the summon command. Now this is how you can summon different custom mobs, so we could summon a void guardian for example, and that's what one looks like, pretty cool. Let's have a look at some of the other mobs we can spawn. So we can spawn an ancient mummy which looks like that, and we'll spawn one more just to have a look at maybe a lost soul. Let's see what this looks like, and there we go, a lost soul. There's obviously a few others you can look at, but the main part of this plugin is obviously the disasters. This is what you want to see. So by default, disasters are random, they can happen to any player at any time, although if you're a particularly mean admin, you can start one on a player at any time you want. So if you do Deadly Disasters : disasters start and then choose from this long list, you can see there is a ton of different disasters. So acid storm, blizzard, cave-in, earthquake, geyser, hurricane, plague. You can choose from any of them. Some only work in certain worlds. For an example, the end storm is only going to work in the end, and then there is a certain one that's soulstorm that only works in the nether. So let's go with a sinkhole. That's a pretty basic one. And then once you've done that, you can choose the level. So 1 is the kind of least severe, and then 6 is very severe and you don't want to get caught up in it. Let's do a 3, and then you can put someone's name on the end. So I'm going to do it to myself. And it says a level 3 sinkhole event is starting at these coordinates on me, and as you can see the world is literally sinking beneath me, and that is the sinkhole event. So not too bad. The other ones are far more severe and we're going to have a look at them. So next we're going to do the earthquake one. This one is a particular favourite of mine, and you will see this one is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to create a massive long hole in the ground, and you can see it's like an earthquake would be. Some only work in certain biomes. Obviously a sandstorm is only going to work in a desert, and then a tsunami is only going to work in an ocean biome. Next one we're going to look at is maybe a tornado. This is a particular favourite of mine. As you can see, like a normal tornado in real life, it's going to pick up random blocks and it's going to pick up people, in fact, and you're going to go in a spiraling motion. Blocks are going to be thrown everywhere, causing mass destruction, and if I didn't have creative mode I would be in for a bad time. And you can see these blocks being spewed absolutely everywhere. Very, very cool effect. I really like this. It was very well made. And you can even see, is that a pig or sheep? Oh, this poor piggy's got caught up in the tornado. So while that's all happening, you can also enable or disable a certain event. So if you didn't want the blizzard to happen, you could disable it in all worlds, for example. If there's certain events you don't want, you can obviously disable them, which is very handy. Let's have a look at the Supernova Event. That one's a particularly crazy one. I believe that just makes a massive hole in the ground, which is pretty ridiculous. So while that's doing the supernova, you can see there it is. So that one is ridiculous. That is a rather large hole. If your house was there, it wouldn't stand much of a chance. I could go on and show you the rest of them, but I would highly recommend downloading the plugin, having fun, throwing these at players and see what they do. So here we are in the Smp Control Panel, and as you can see there are 3 YML files. Data you don't need to worry about. Config has a couple of useful things you can mess around with. So up at the top you've got the update notification which will occur in chat. You've got certain blocks which are blacklisted. Then we've got all the different messages, so for each severity level you will get a different message. And if we scroll down, we've got all the different disasters and certain things about them, like the speed, delay, the size, the min and max height, the volume, etc. You could change these numbers if you wanted to, but I think everything is pretty good and well balanced at the moment, so you don't really need to change anything there. Then you can go into the worlds.yml. This is specific to each world, so we've got the spigot world, this is my main one. Down here we've got the nether world and then the end world. And for each of these it's going to be the same, so natural disasters true, so random disasters will happen even if you don't use the command. Then you've got a few other things here, so the minimum amount of time in seconds before it can affect a player, the maximum level, so 6, will it broadcast in chat, the offset, so how many blocks will the disaster offset from a player. If you set this to 0, it will occur right on top of them, which probably isn't the most fair thing. This will occur about 10 blocks away. Scroll down and then we've got the difficulty set to hard. This is the command we used in game, and that is setting the different percentage chance for certain things to happen. You can see that here is the custom table. So if you set the difficulty to custom, you will have a 1% chance to get a level 6 storm and then a 9% chance for a level 5. You could obviously change these numbers and make it how you want. Then you've got the disasters, so all of these are enabled in my normal world apart from Blizzard, which we turned off in game. Scroll down and then for each world you've got exactly the same stuff which you can tweak per world on a separate basis. If we head over to the spigot page, you can see it's updated from 1.13 to 1.18. If we scroll down, you've got some information about the config and worlds. If you ever get confused, you can see it depends on certain plugins, so it can work with World Guard and Townley, etc., which is very cool. And then it gives you images of all the different disasters. So we looked at a few of these, some we didn't look at, such as a cave-in. We've got lava geysers, acid storm, that looks pretty painful. We got the soul storm, so obviously that's a nether only thing. There's the blizzard. Tsunami, I unfortunately didn't find an ocean biome, but that one looks pretty cool. And then scroll down, here are the custom items I mentioned. So if you do get bitten by a plague zombie, you can make this plague cure. You can get a void wrath, which is a special item from void archers, and then an ancient blade you can make like that. So that is the plugin, really fantastic, very cool. I had a lot of fun playing around with this plugin. I would highly recommend you downloading it. But if you need a server to host it on, check out ServerMiner.com for the best and cheapest hosting around. But that's it for me. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you next time.